All right, here's some booze for you with gusto. Boo! 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 Boo!
Welcome to the show. Mark, stop booing me. Hey, everybody. It's Blathering 110. One, it doesn't matter. We're here live on a Thursday night, 5 p.m. I was a little delayed. I'm going to tell you, I was a little delayed because I was watching my Yankees, and I'm not going to stream it. I was like, I could probably, just bring the game up here and share it as media. But then I think I'd end up in prison. I don't have the express written consent of Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball. Hey, it's a weird anniversary today? The 1989 World Series quake. The little Prieta quake. I don't remember the actual name of it because I just remember it from the World Series. 1989. Burned into my brain. Felt it 3.5, almost 4 hours south. Watching the game with my folks. Pre-game, Tim McCarver's giving the highlights about Jose Canseco scoring on a bad throw from Candy Maldonado as he tried to go to second. Dave Park. Then you hear Al Michaels. I tell you what, we're having an earth. Oh, my God. Burned in my brain. Fear gripped me. And sure enough, we felt it. My soup started shaking. That was today. So, hey, we are having some fun, hanging out with all of you. Here's what I do. I don't have it. This is the only theme song I have for this show that I could use. I feel like I need music. I feel empty today. We got a lot of people checking in here. We got Big Lou. It says, don't tease us with an Ellis appearance like that. We've got Loma Prieta. There it is. Thank you, Brennan. Loma Prieta, you're up in that area. Laserbolt is here. Kingsport Cal, hanging out. 89884M. Addy, Jared the Type Pilot. We got some calls lined up. I want to shout out our good buddy Eddie Haskell. Haskell 420 hanging out here. Good to see Eddie. We're having a lot of fun already. And if you want to call into the show, here's what you got to do. If you're on YouTube, become a channel member. Support the channel. You just do it and call in. And then, next month, cancel it. I don't care. Consider me a free trial. But help support the show. Also, you can become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Ken Napzok. And then you can get the link to call in as well. Also, you can get my show, Pop Rockin' Radio, which is now on the radio. It's actually on the radio. But it's midnight Eastern in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Not a lot of you hanging out in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, but you can listen live via the TuneIn radio app. But don't worry, I got you covered. Every episode of Pop Rockin' Radio that is brand new goes on either Mixcloud, where you become a Mixcloud Select supporter, or on my Patreon page, you get it as well. Everyone else starts with ads. You could be a member like Ryan. Ryan becoming a YouTube team member here today. We do have a poll up. Thank you, Ryan, for that. Ryan's been around here for a little bit, too. I got a poll. Let me bring the poll up. I was trying to think. Oh, I almost ended the poll. We don't want to end the poll. So I got another wedding. I'm leaving tomorrow for another wedding. There will be an Anytime with Ken and Alden tomorrow. And then I am packing up and hitting the road. But it's not far, about an hour away. By the way, if you're watching, like the video, subscribe to the channel as we continue to have some fun over here. I'm going to another wedding. I'm very excited. I have had 2 weddings and a funeral in the last 20 days. And it's like my life's like a rom-com without the rom or the com. But I'm putting this poll up. Last minute, admittedly. What is the best appetizer at a wedding? Eric Elliott's here. Michael McCarsel's here as well. There's a lot of choices. Okay, so go with me here. Sliders, 44% leading in the clubhouse, 9 votes in here. Fancy mushrooms, 11%. The reason I put that is we had some mushrooms, not shrooms. We had some mushrooms offered, like some portobello mushrooms offered to us at the last wedding, and Grace had them and was like, you got to try them. I'm not a huge fan of that. And I had that, and that became almost the best option there. But I'll put a pin in that. A different option emerged. Something with shrimp. I'm a big fan of shrimp. I know not everyone is. But you got like a shrimp cocktail or some kind of coconut shrimp and you're coming around and you're handing that to me, I'm grabbing 2 of those skewers and a napkin, dipping it in whatever sauce is in front of my face, and I'm having that. But I did put other because I know a lot of you are going to come in here and say, well, Ken, none of those choices work. They all suck. So put other. 22% of the votes. But here's the thing. You better name it. If you vote other, I want it in chat here. King Sport Cow says beef jerky. Kidding. I'd have that. Jumbo shrimp. There you go. Big Lou says balsamic glaze. Addie says, I think my problems have never been to the appetizer portion of a wedding. Oh, we're going to ask her about that. That's why. What? But do you leave after the ceremony? Do you just get the hell out of there? Congratulations. I'm going home. There's a lot of questions there. So there you go. So what ended up becoming the best appetizer at this last this wedding I was at? It was the Emma Fife affair, her wedding to her marriage to Gabe. Great wedding, wonderful spirit there. They were having the servers coming around handing us stuff. Got it. Good. That was the mushroom thing. But all of a sudden, one of the servers kind of says, "Oh yeah, there's also a bunch of stuff like up there if you go around the back end there." Oh, okay. So I popped up there. There's some chips and salsa, guac, okay, stuff like that. They had cream cheese wontons. There's a lot of important stuff going on in the world right now. We just had 2 hurricanes in South Florida. We've got a big election coming up here in America. We got war in Ukraine. We got the genocide in Gaza and widening conflict there. Though some Hamas leader was killed today, I don't think that's a bad thing. There's a lot going on in the world. You need to stop it all so you can concentrate on the cream cheese wonton. Okay, I say that from the bottom of my heart. I've never had this before, and it's exactly as advertised. It's a wonton, a tasty, tasty wonton filled with cream cheese, and I ate 19 of them. I lost track after like 11, so I'm guesstimating the 19. So that actually put it on there. Addie has had these things before, just not at a wedding, apparently. There we go. So you guys got some great choices. I'm going to try to favorite them there. We've got Trey T says, I'm here for 39 minutes of awkward shuffle dancing. I like a good awkward shuffle dancing. Ken Plume says the best app at a wedding is Tinder. That's probably true, too. You know, I'm not looking. Brendan checking in on Facebook says, love portobello mushrooms, especially in the air fryer. Yeah, I'm convinced. Because I'm not against mushrooms. I have them in omelets, hamburgers, that kind of thing. Salads occasionally. Portobello mushrooms, like I don't like a portobello mushroom burger too much, even when I go vegan. Not my favorite option there. I was won over. They had like garlic. It was so good. Oh, so good. Super chat. We'll get to that. Thank you, Malcolm, for that super chat. So if I see it, I'm a one-man producing team here. If Laserbolt says cream cheese wonton a bit like a rangoon. I'm not sure what a rangoon is because I'm not classy. I'm going to type that up in the old thing. See, if I had a producer, if I was like Rogan, hey, Jamie, look up a rangoon, I'd be a millionaire. That's a city in, it's a city. Crab, there you go, crab rangoon. A sweet and savory appetizer made of cream cheese, crab meat, and other ingredients wrapped in a wonton wrapper and fried or crispy until bacon. Yeah, just take the crab out of there. That's exactly it, Laserbolt. What a classy man Laserbolt is. What a classy, classy man. Wow. Jared says, crab rangoon, it's the beep and bomb. That's good. Hey, we're going to get some calls. I got Brennan, I got Jared, I got Addie. If you want to call in, please call in. That sounded desperate. Please call in. No, I'm enjoying hanging out with all of you. That's what this show is. It's a radio show. You call in, have a question, get ready to answer that poll, answer that goddamn poll, and then let's chat for a bit here. Also, you can win channel member like Ryan did, and Patreon supporter, and get to call in as well. But I do want to highlight some stuff as we transition into our first call of the night. I've been loving highlighting some of the work of my pals. We've been highlighting the book by Adam Knight, Cowboy Ending. It's book 1 of a series he has. It's the Overdrive series. Check it out wherever you get fine books. Available at Amazon if you want to just add to cart. Get it. Support it. Also, I had lunch with this cat today. That's right. Matty Gunner and his band Mourner just released a new song called Truth. I hear tell it is compared in part to Good Charlotte, and the rest is aggressive singing. Matty's in chat. He might tell you otherwise. Matty and I actually met in Burbank. Matty is, of course, normally UK-based. For now, he's out for the wedding as well. We had great lunch in downtown Burbank today. A lot of fun. So I want you to check out his music if this is your style of music. And even if it isn't, even if you're like, oh, but I like James Taylor on a stool, just listen to the GD song, okay? And give it a like, give it a review, add it to your playlist, tell your friends about it. And also adding to the rotation this week is our buddy Ken Plume. You see him here in chat, my Fortnite buddy. Great host, great interviewer, and also a wonderful writer of things like this, The Art of DuckTales. Order now. The link is there. If you're in chat, Ken, drop that link too in chat if you want. It's a deluxe edition. If you're a fan of DuckTales, this is a comprehensive look at the art of the book. Great stories, great interviews, great insights. Very popular book. It sometimes goes in and out of print. It's so popular. So get it now. The links are there on the page. You can type that in on another browser window, or just go ahead and hopefully we'll get a link dropped in there because I'm going to switch back to the chat there as well. Okay. Matty Gunner says, hey, please listen to us because Spotify doesn't pay well, and I got bills. They're multiplying. They're electrifying. All right, first call. We got a call coming in here, but first, Big Lou says this about the pole lamb kebabs of the balsamic glaze. Had to meet my had to meet my cousin's wedding a few years ago. Or had to met. I'm drunk and you're drunk, Lou, and I've been chasing that culinary high ever since. Oh, I love that too. I love when you go to like a wedding and someone's like, "Ooh, here's a slider, but it's got a little something different on it," and you spend the rest of your life trying to connect with that appetizer. That's kind of me in the cream cheese wonton right now. Crab rangoon. I take out the crab meat. If you put a shrimp in there, a cream cheese shrimp wonton, can we do that, Laserbolt? Laserbolt, can we do that? Laserbolt, can I come over to your house when the Lions win the Super Bowl and have some shrimp cream cheese wonton? Steve can't do seafood, so the wedding food in his adventure. Yeah, that's true. Matty Gunner, let's forgive him. What the heck is a slider and wins it at home? A slider is a tiny hamburger. That's pretty much what it is. Matty, if I had just $10 more in my bank account today, we would have gone to Wood Ranch. Instead, we went to a diner. We would have gone to Wood Ranch, and we could have got some cheeseburgers, some mini cab cheeseburger sliders. One of my favorite things there. Flappers, the comedy club I'm always at, has great sliders. So that's what it is. So yeah, you can get a little tiny hamburger, a little tiny sandwich, tri-tip one, cheeseburger one, well, maybe chicken one. It's tiny. It's tiny. It's tiny. Before we get to the calls, question from Malcolm. Again, thanks for the super chat, Malcolm. Hey, Ken, hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Yeah, I'm not doing great. I'm not doing bad. I got a lot of work done this week. I actually was so proud of myself, Malcolm. I got ahead of a writing project and was able to turn it in on time. And today's kind of an easier day. I was able to go have lunch with a pal. I got this show. After this, I even woke up early and worked out today. So you know what? Maybe I'm okay. The reason I'm a little off kilter is just one of those weeks where I'm in my cups a little bit about what my career truly is. But that's not new. But also, I haven't had a good night's sleep in a while. And last night I was like, oh, I'm going to have a good night's sleep. God bless her. Love her to death. Our dog, our Chihuahua, Frances, she's a bedwetter. Not intentionally. She just falls asleep and pees. And so it was like Yosemite Falls last night. So about 3 a.m., changing sheets. You can't wash. It was a mess. So Malcolm, it's just messing with my head a little bit. He asked this question: what's the weirdest venue you've done stand-up? Not necessarily the worst, though they're not mutually exclusive. A lot of dive bars, biker bar in Corona, which we were going to get beat up at. This was years ago. Bar and grill in Palmdale that was shut down because of double murders. I talk about that in my act sometimes. I performed in a school classroom, but not for a classroom. Performed for a comedy festival. Early on, I was too early, and it was too early in my comedy career to probably be in this festival. But it was in front of 30 other comics competing in a classroom we were like using on a Saturday. Not at bright neon lights, not the place for comedy. I was too young in my career. This is like 2003 range. That happened. Other than that, I have been blessed to not have been in too many weird spots. Other comics have, but also they're probably better comics for it. I don't even go to like, there's comedy shows in laundromats in LA. I've never done that. But I've had a friend that's performed on a tour bus. I've had a friend that's performed at the end of a table in an active restaurant for a 13-year-old's birthday party. I did do a restaurant 2 years ago now, coming up on 2 years ago now. Mark Ellis and I did a corporate gig, which usually is in a different setting. This was at a Hermosa Beach restaurant that they had closed down, so it was just the employees there. But we were in the middle of the restaurant with everyone around us eating. That was kind of a weird environment, too. So those things kind of get you stronger. But I wish I had better answers. I've just been fortunate enough to be in kind of clubs and venues that are prepared for comedy. King's Forecast is Ken trying to get free Cheddars. Now, look, if Cheddars does a comedy night, Cal, let me know. Let me know. Robert, talking about sliders. I've got those frozen White Castle sliders in my freezer right now. Time to go heat some up. You know, the problem with the White Castle sliders is by the time I finally got to them in 2008, they've been hyped up so much. And I get they're supposed to be low grade. You all know me. I like really crappy food. My specialty is it really subpar quality? Feed it to Ken. I just didn't like the White Castle sliders. I don't know. Too bready? I don't know what it was. But again, I think I blame the hype. The hype. Oh, my whole life. Oh, you got to have White Castle sliders. Oh, you got to have White. And I finally went to a White Castle out there in Tennessee, Kingsport, Cal, out there in Tennessee, somewhere off the 40 freeway. I don't even remember where it was. We stopped for gas, and there was a gas station and a White Castle. And I said, now's the time. Now's the time. And it turned out not to be the time. 21 votes in for the poll. What is the best app at a wedding? Sliders, 33%. Fancy mushrooms, you can add to that. Something with shrimp, 29%. The shrimp doing pretty good there. And other, but you better name it in the chat, 19%. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Shrimp, huh? Okay. Kingsport Cow says he has a story about White Castle. All right. We'll do that. Let us give. Yeah. There you go. Osvetnik. I got to say that right. It's fine. I like the fries better than the burgers. That might be. I don't remember the fries. All right. We're adding some calls to the show, and our first call of the night is our buddy Brennan. We know him as Brennan Mystical Mar, host of the Page Turners There Not podcast. Brennan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Hanging in there, my friend. Hanging in there. Trying to get a Yankees win tonight and just surviving. Having a salad for dinner. What a life I lead. What a life.
Yeah. For me, a good shrimp cocktail. I can't go wrong.
Yeah. That's great. I know you said here on the show before, like you can't have dairy, so that's cut out, and maybe so cheeseburgers. Shrimp cocktail. Good to go. I respect that, my friend. That's a good choice for me. It's one of my favorites.
So
what's on your
spooky season coming up?
Yeah.
What was Halloween like for you as a kid? You talked about your upbringing.
Yeah.
How was Halloween received by
horribly
your parents and stuff like that?
Yeah, horribly. This is why Halloween is one of my least favorite holidays. I just didn't grow up with it, and yeah, I've told the story before, but I think it's a great question now, Brennan, for the season we're in and where I'm at in my life. Yeah, the idea of Halloween, it wasn't. It's two things. It wasn't just religious reasons. I'll just go to the main event there. There were some religious regions raised in a Calvary Chapel, Christian church, Calvary Chapel, known for being rather legalistic and domineering with that kind of dog. But they weren't going to go for All Hallows Eve. And I got it. And we had a substitute. They also understood we don't want to keep our kids out of it. So we had a substitute. We had something called the Hallelujah Hoedown, where the entire church grounds was turned into like a Western town. And you know what? As much as it might be easy to make fun of that, and I have and I will, it was also fun. Like, I have a lot of memories of that, but it was never framed as Halloween. It was like my friends went and celebrated Halloween. I celebrated the Hallelujah Hoedown. and dressed like a town sheriff. It was, and I got even more candy. So I'm not complaining about that. But the other aspect of it, Brennan, and something maybe you don't understand too, because I know you're talking about the upbringing, but also growing up in the late 70s and the early 80s, the panic, and I'm not talking about the satanic panic, I'm talking about the panic of crime, the fear that was easily sold. Trick-or-treating was not encouraged because, razor blades and apples and all those kind of horrible things.
All the old urban legends.
The old urban legends, and maybe some have truth, maybe some don't. Who knows? Maybe it's a story that happens and spins out. Often and not, it is an urban legend that gets passed along, or someone hears of a news story in another state. So that was a big reason, too. So therefore, that's my Halloween, Brennan. I didn't dress up. I did get some candy, all in the name of the Lord. I don't have a lot of problems with that, but I don't celebrate Halloween now because I'm not practiced enough,
Interesting. Yeah, because for me growing up, because you know that I'm very religious.
Yeah.
But our church never had a problem with it.
That's good. What do they?
We had a Halloween party at the church.
Like a straight up Halloween party at the church.
Well,
I like that.
Not in the chapel.
Sure.
But in the gym. Yes.
We wouldn't want to have candy in the chapel. I understand that. No, the gym.
Well, in the gym, yes.
And that was probably, and ours, and I'm sure ours was open to the public. So it was like, hey, anyone can come by. It's a safe environment too. Again, in the face of rumors of crime or panic of crime in our small town. And by the way, our small town was pretty safe, but also small towns are where the weird stuff happens. So I'm sure yours was open to the public too.
In general, yeah, we usually didn't get a lot of people, but
yeah.
Oh, by the way, that next comment. Yeah, we do the trunk or treat also.
Oh, I'm seeing this now. Trunk or treat.
Now, don't worry. At ours, there was not those always handing out pamphlets.
No pamphlets, no Bible tracts. No, we did a trunk or treat in our church parking lot. One family was always trying to give out church pamphlets. We avoided that car. Good job. What is the trunk or treat? I'm not familiar with the term trunk or treat.
You bring your card, you park in the parking lot, and you hand out candy from the trunk.
Okay. All right. So in the 80s, you would have
basically get a double candy.
A double whammy. So in the 80s, for 364 days, the idea would be to not take candy from a stranger in a car, but for one night a year, go to that car and get candy. I like it. I'm there for it.
Well, these are all the people that we know, so it's like, it's not anything to worry about.
Ranger Donald's right there with me. The only time the kids are allowed to get candy from a van.
No, and it's a lot of fun. It really is.
Hey, look, candy's fun.
We go every year, but I'm missing it this year.
There, still going. Okay, so the party at your church is still going.
Oh yeah. No, it goes in most of the congregations.
Still goes
in the U.S. So
I don't know. I have to check because my church that I grew up at, the Calvary Chapel Arroyo Grande, is still there. They did build a bigger facility on their campus, and I want to say this. I want to shout them out for what they did. They early on when they started the church in the early 80s, they started a savings fund, knowing that or hoping that hey, one day we'll need to build and rebuild, and they were able to fund it themselves completely, through ties and all that stuff over the years. But it wasn't like a lot of other churches. The one I was at in Porter Ranch, California, did a big fundraiser, golf tournaments, raised all this money, built this thing. That church was like, cool, hey, it's time. The money we've saved up, we can not only afford it, we could actually do more with it. And I respect them for that. But they're at the same spot. And I wonder if they still do the Hallelujah Hoedown.
Well, I say just look for the nearest Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints building and see if they got a party going on.
I'll see if they got a party. Brennan, I got calls lined up. I want to get to them. I want to appreciate you calling in. What is one thing? What is one piece of candy you do want to get this Halloween, whether you're at a party or not?
Oh, I love sweet tarts.
God bless you. Sweet tarts.
I love them.
I love a good sweet tart too. I love that moment when you have too many sweet tarts and it starts to burn your throat a little bit, and it's time to stop the sweet tarts.
And a
Oh,
few
some
Smarties. That's all.
Smarties. Yep, Smarties, sweet tarts. Candy corn burns my throat too. Brennan, I love you, brother. Thank you for calling in. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Brennan, check it in. Kender Bueno for the win, says Laserbolt. Laserbolt trick or treated in a time where there were no rules. I just know that for a fact. Chewy Sweet Tarts, says Lauren Romo. Call in and defend that position. All right, we got a lot of folks lined up here. I want to get to them, but you know what? This guy says he has a story. We got Addy here. We got 898 for him. We got Jared, the Thai pilot, who I think has a shirt on this week. I'm not sure yet, but this guy hasn't been on the air yet. He says he has a story about White Castle. I hope it's okay for air. It is my buddy. We're so happy to have him here because Tennessee was East Tennessee, a little rough last couple weeks. Kingsport Cal, how you doing, buddy?
I don't know, Ken. Can you hear me?
Kingsport, I appreciate you checking like a pro. You sound so sexy. I'm considering changing things about my life.
Well, don't do that just yet. Okay. Well, if you do that, just give Grace my number. Anyway, I'll tell you what. It's good to hear your voice, Ken. Good to hear your voice. No, it's a compliment, son. It's a compliment.
Kingsburg Castle, I love you, man. Only you. I love it. No.
And that's the other thing, though, Ken. You going to all these weddings. When you going to have your own? I know you have an arrangement.
We're not getting married. Yeah, no.
I
know. The thing. Permanently engaged. Kurt Russell
Life
and Goldie
partners
Hawn.
Forever.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
You know what I mean? Look, maybe tax-wise, medical plans might be different.
Yeah, well, that's good. Thing.
It worked for them. You know, people used to say Susan Sarandon and Tim Robinson. Eventually, it didn't work for them. But you know, there's a
J-Lo being.
I know of more marriages not working than the ones that are just like,
it's true.
We're hanging out.
It's like they get married and then they get divorced and then they get married and get divorced. I know people. Ken, I'm 42. I know people who are my age who've been married 3 times.
Wow, they're getting to it.
What's that about? Anyway, who cares?
You know what? Oh, anyways, who cares about them? I want to shout out to Cal. Before you get to your story, I saw this comment, and it's going to be too far down the line if I don't bring it up now. KW said, my grandparents went to Royal Grande. I was there a lot. Jocko's in Napomo, one of my favorite restaurants. Also love saying Napomo. Yeah, great city. Jocko's, great rib barbecue hamburger joint. They used to have Jocko's and Little Jocko's. Anyways, Cal, what's your White Castle story?
Well, it's not really a funny story or anything. It was just something that I remembered. I went to go see me and my buddies, Billy and some other people. We went to go. Well, Billy's wife was there too.
Okay. Good for Billy's
rest in peace, Billy. Well, yeah, Billy died. Anyway,
okay,
it's okay. But in 2000. Around 2000, early 2000, we went to go see Master P concert.
Master P, love it.
Yes, it's at Freedom Hall in Johnson City.
Oh yeah, anyway, they used to do a lot of wrestling there too.
Yeah, so we go there, and Master P comes through. He's got Bubba Sparks with him. Remember Bubba Sparks? Yeah. So Bubba's the opener. He does the stuff. He does everything, and then he closes with "Ugly," his only song, and then Master P comes out and everybody's hyped. We're all crazy. He does a rundown of his hits, like a collage of his hits.
Right.
And then he's like, "I'm out." I mean, it was about 10 minutes. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But we we left there. We went to I ended up seeing Master P after that. Actually, I forgot about that. But anyway, we went to White Castle.
Okay.
And after the concert, and everybody did, and we're in Kingsport. We're up in Johnson City for this concert, right?
Right.
And so that's a bunch of Johnson City people. They see our tag. It's got the county tag on it. It's different from JC. So it started getting crazy. And my boy Billy and the girls were going off because no, we left. He got scared. He got shook.
Okay.
But we were
hold. I'm going to call time on it. I'm going to throw the flag here.
I'm sorry.
When you say, let me guide your story a little bit. When you say it got crazy in a White Castle, what do you mean?
In the parking lot. We was in the parking lot. All right.
Some jabbing? We got some chipping going on? People talking?
Well, people coming up talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, and I do.
I get out the car. Billy gets out the car, and the girls start going and say, because we're trying to eat in the car and shit. We're trying to mind our own business. But There's congregations out there, though. No, because we're outnumbered. Because, like I said, there's like,
but not like Brennan's
different
congregation.
city.
Okay, yeah,
Well, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I'm ready, kinda, but I'm ready. But the girls are screaming, and Billy's like, he's like, we gotta go, and so we get caught, we run like bitches.
Smart.
So you know,
Billy's
that was smart.
It's smart. You gotta live to fight another day, Cal.
But I was younger.
Younger.
Anyway.
So that's the White Castle story. Is you almost got in a fight in the park. But here's the thing, Cal.
Yeah.
Here's what I love about the story. I think probably 20% of America's fistfights probably happen in a White Castle parking lot. 30%
or a
happen.
Waffle House.
30% happen in a Waffle House. Don't step on my joke, Cal. Don't you step on my joke, Cal.
I already knew where you got know where you going, kid.
But 20% in a White Castle parking lot. So do you have any do you have any memory of the food?
I mean, I was semi-drunk and probably high. I can't remember. But I've had the frozen White Castle things that people can buy.
You can get them at a Kroger's. Yeah, that ain't the thing.
We also have here in Tennessee. Have you seen a Checkers before, Ken?
I've seen a Checkers. I think I've been into a Checkers. Yeah. Is it kind of like it's kind of like a pit stop? It's kind of like a
they got the race flag thing, the little finishing line flag. But real quick, the shrimp story is I worked at the Best Western Hotel in Johnson City at the bar called it's not there anymore. They shut it down. But at the bar called the Office. It was called the Office at that time. It's been a lot of places. I worked there for a couple of years in the kitchen, and I was making a special order of shrimp cocktail. And I boiled the shrimp, and when I went to transfer the shrimp over to cool it, I had mesh shoes on, and the boiling water hit my foot, and I had blisters on my foot, and I worked through it, Ken.
I worked through it on my fingers.
Yes.
Well, because I'll tell you why, Cal. You understand, you're a working man, and you gotta sometimes you gotta power through and get the grade. Cal, I love hearing your story. Man. Hilarious. I got calls lined up, so I'm going to let some folks go today. But how ththings settling down out there? I know you weren't directly affected by that hurricane as much as some friends, but how's it feeling out there?
No. It's, dude, if you ride through just my town, man, you ride through, there's trees on the side of the road, uprooted trees.
Uprooted.
Yes. Well, they uprooted because they already got all their stuff blown out. So bad that they were getting other trees removed because
got it.
They've been there before, and that's scaring me too because I got some trees around my place. Well, I don't know, but anyway,
I don't want you squished by trees, Cal.
I don't want to wait. But a friend of mine, Rebecca, she said her daughter woke up with a damn tree in her bedroom. Well, she woke up to it falling into the bedroom of her trailer, her single wide trailer.
We don't want that. I'm glad everyone's okay.
I got a little bit more fortitude than that, but anyway.
Yeah. I appreciate you, buddy.
I'll get off here.
All right. I appreciate you, Cal, and I'll ask Grace about that phone number. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. You tell Grace has an open invitation. She's an actress. She might be flying a lot. I'm sure you have my address. You have that letter. You got my address.
Yeah. Look, I'll be dead. I'll be dead of a heart attack soon enough. Don't you worry, Cal. All right. See ya. I love Ksbg Count. I'm glad he's okay. We've got a lot going on tonight. We got some calls lined up from Jared, Addy, 898 from him, and Maddie, who is local. He's not in UK this time, but let's check the poll. If you're watching live, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's me from the old internet. I love it. Every once in a while, still someone will swing through and be like, hey, what happened to you after Schmoes? Hey, I was like 10 years ago. I'm still alive, still kicking away, having fun. Force Center, having fun with this. This is also released as an audio podcast. New episode of a knapsack file coming soon as well. We got the poll up. What is the best app at a wedding? Sliders. I knew Sliders was going to be tough to beat. 37% out of 27 votes. Fancy Mushrooms, 22%. Something with shrimp, 25%. I tell you what, a lot of people, when I mention I love shrimp, I get chastised. All right, and they're bottom dwellers. They're the cockroaches of the sea. They're tasty. If a cockroach tasted this good, I'd be in. All right, but shrimp are great. And then but you got to name it in chat. You got to name it in chat. Jared the Dark Jedi checking in says sliders. They're an easy win because you can go a lot of places. Sliders are a versatile answer, says Addie. I agree with that there. In fact, you know what? While we're doing this, let's bring in Addie. I gotta ask this question, Addie. What the hell do you mean by you've never been to the appetizer portion of the wedding? Usually that's the first part.
So we established this last week. I have been to 3 weddings.
3 weddings. Got it. And you were in one, right?
I was in 2 of them.
2.
And so when you're in the wedding, you're getting your pictures taken during the appetizer portion of the wedding.
That's fair. Okay. That makes more sense.
I don't remember them serving appetizers at the 3rd one.
Wow. What kind of wow? Jared says she's not wrong. Yeah, no, she's not wrong. That's a good point. That's a good counter. I want to know what happened at that 3rd wedding. Where, without giving details or talking bad about the lovely couple that's, I'm sure, deeply in love still. Where was this wedding? What kind of venue?
Dallas, Texas.
But what kind of venue? Church?
I honestly, no, it was not a church. And it was a same-sex wedding in Dallas, Texas. So there was a lot to unpack there.
Well, God bless them. Yeah, I love that. I love that for them. But it was like a 2-pronged location. Was it in one spot? Like
no,
I don't know.
No, it was all in the same spot. Like they got married outside and then we ate inside.
Okay. Look, it could be a money thing. I'm not expecting it, Addie. I don't want you to leave this in conversation here thinking that I show up to a wedding feeling I'm entitled to some sort of appetizer. I just think it is kind of the norm, the societal norm, and these weddings cost a lot of money. I think you should have it in a courthouse, and maybe just everyone meet at a Fridays or an Applebee's later and have a good time. But if I show up like Saturday night, Maddie Gunner and I are going to roll into this wedding, and if there isn't a slider in my mouth at some point, I'd be disappointed. I got to be honest, I'd be disappointed.
So three things.
3
First
things.
of all,
Okay.
That particular wedding took place the weekend before I defended my dissertation, so I don't remember a lot about it.
You were in a haze. Okay.
There was a meal, so like we at least got fed. I remember that. And there was also an open bar.
I mean, that's not wrong. Okay, yeah, I'd rather look if I'm going to have the choice, usually I know they go hand in hand, but if it's appetizer or open bar, I'm going to get sloshed. So, okay. You're still in good hands.
But I am with you on the cream cheese wontons. Pro tip, they sell them in the frozen food section at Target.
Well, I'm going to look now. I don't know if I should have that, but I'm going to look now.
I ate an entire box of them after a half marathon once. I do not recommend that. That did not end well. Okay,
an entire box? How many is in a box?
Oh, probably a dozen at least.
Yeah, see, I crossed a dozen, but I don't know.
I had run 13 miles and hadn't eaten in about 3 hours, so that was not the first thing I should have eaten.
I haven't run 13 miles in my life. Jared the Dark Jedi says the best wedding food I've ever had was a bar food app, sliders, wings, Pittsburgh-style salads. The hell is a Pittsburgh-style salad, you yinzer? And then an Earth, Wind, and Fire-themed pizza truck with an unending barrage of specialty pizzas. You had me, quite frankly, at sliders and wings, but you got me at the Earth, Wind, and Fire-themed anything. Jared, that's amazing. But I do want to know what a Pittsburgh-style salad is. Addie, this is what's on my mind, but what is on your mind this week? What's the question for the show tonight?
So my question is something I've been thinking about all day. I've been home all day because I got the double whammy flu COVID booster shot yesterday.
Got it.
And have been recovering from that.
Good for you. I'm still waiting for mine, but yep.
A friend of mine texted me because she was in a very long line in North Carolina because early voting opened today.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me thinking, and I'm going to pose the question to you. Do you have a plan to vote?
Good. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to make sure. Hold on. Let me make sure I hide my address. I got my ballot here. I've done that before. I got it here. I think I'm going to come back from this wedding, and I'm going to open this up and sit down. I usually get out my voter guides. Like there's some good. My friend Joe Starr usually shares some good progressive voter guide stuff. I'll do some extra research on the props and the this and that and the school boards and this and that, and I'll make my vote some point next week and bring it into the voters box. Grace and I will probably do that midweek next week.
I miss voting by mail. That's lovely.
Yeah, it's. I
actually had to think about voting today because I don't get to vote by mail anymore.
Is that the thing out there? Is that the thing?
Well, so I lived in Oregon for a very long time, where your only option is to vote by mail. They were a vote by mail state before voting by mail was a thing. And it was really nice. They'd send you a nice little guide like you're talking about, and I would sit down with my breakfast and I would read my little guide that would say voting yes means this and voting no means this. So I would make informed decisions about things. I think I could request a vote-in-mail ballot here now. But honestly, as great as voting by mail was in Oregon, I miss getting stickers.
Oh, but there's a sticker in here.
There was not a sticker. There was not a sticker in my mail-in ballot in Oregon. I have no idea if they include them out here. So instead, I've just looked up where I can go and early vote next week, and I'm just going to show up at 8 a.m. and do it.
Do it, make it happen. No, that's good to hear. I know Ken Plume's out in North Carolina. He says, I can confirm the long line for early voters. And then right above that, Eddie Haskell just broke my heart. Cleveland Guardians just tied the Yankee game 2-run homer in the bottom of the ninth. God, I love baseball and hate baseball all at the same time.
I have
that's great.
track of baseball. Milton destroyed my stadium, and the Rays have been out of it for a while, so I have no idea what's going on anymore.
It's actually an interesting, much more serious things to worry about with that hurricane, but the destruction of that stadium's an interesting quandary. A very expensive quandary that the city and team finds itself in. So,
especially since they're about to build a new one.
I hope, because that is a parking lot of a stadium out there.
They approved it. They're building a new stadium in the next few years, which makes it an even more expensive quandary because they're gonna tear it down. Yeah.
So you don't want to repair. Well, that's interesting. I don't like the Tampa Bay Rays, but I like a team being in Tampa, so that's good. Addie, thank you for raising the voter question. I want to remind all of you out there to vote. Vote often, vote early. Vote often, vote early. You can't vote.
Don't vote often. I mean. That's how
some people might want to vote often. Vote often through the course of your life is what I'm trying to say. Lauren Roma says, I just turned in my ballot yesterday. Callie makes voting easily. Luckily, it really does. 898-4M. He says keep Gascon. Yeah, I am voting. I always vote for Gascon, and it pisses off all my cop buddies, and that's probably why I still keep doing it. He's certainly not perfect, but I like doing it. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. Any final thoughts tonight? Can I convince you to just crash a wedding to try the appetizers?
Unfortunately, I'm at this point, it's going to have to be second weddings for most of my friends. We are either hopelessly single or we're going to have to go through some divorces. And there's really only one friend I'm rooting for that to happen with.
I love that. We all got that friend we're rooting for. Hey, the downside I found of second weddings is they're usually smaller scale, and usually we've been there before. Unless one of them has never been married before, then their partner maybe feels like, all right, let's go in, give you the experience. Been through a couple of those too, so. Here's hoping you got some divorces in your future, Addie, so you can get some.
Just sliders. The one.
Just the one. Just the one. Oh yeah, just the one. Just the one. All right.
He's a piece of shit. Sorry.
On that note, we'll see you next time, Addie. Thanks for the call. Love that. Clip that there. Jared, this is my first election in Pittsburgh proper. Lots of physical selection, but living in PA means you can't sit anything out. That is true. There you go. Vote often, says Kingsport Cal. I misspoke. Man, this Yankee game's going to drive me crazy. Top of the 10th. Come on, Yanks. I want a Dodger-Yankee World Series. Sorry, Ed. A New York World Series would be good out there. All right, let's get to the calls. We've got, we got top of the hour. We'll be doing some sports with Steve. I had a big week. I had a big NFL sports week. I kept track a little bit better this week. Can't wait to get to Steve and the NFL picks. But let's bring our buddy Jared the Tie Pilot, who's on here now, and he's going to first answer what is his favorite wedding app. Go for it. Welcome to the show, Jared.
What's going on, brother? The app I went for was First, I had picked fancy mushrooms, and then the crab rangoons talk happened, and yeah, crab rangoons. And you say take the crab out. Here's the thing with crab rangoons, especially if they're proper ones.
They're
it's
proper.
It's not real crab. It's mostly the cream cheese. Because I am deathly allergic to crab, shellfish, and shrimp. Like that's why
a lot of people are.
Yeah. Like I carry around an EpiPen.
Good for you.
But I can eat crab rangoon because it's thick and it's bloody delicious.
Okay. I mean, look, I'm not allergic to shellfish that I know of. Don't carry EpiPen. I have a friend who should carry an EpiPen, and he kind of doesn't. It's a weird conversation. They're also expensive.
I mean,
welcome to
they
America,
they don't. Oh my god! And they don't make it easy. Like, look at this thing. It's not small.
You can't just put that in your pocket. It's not like a pen with a prick on it. Giggity. All right, so there you go. So you pulled off the fancy mushrooms. You went with the other and the crab rangoon. I appreciate that. But Jared, that's not why you're calling. I'm sure you got a question. What's on your mind?
Oh, not much. First, I want to shout out your boy Brian Tiller, who I posed a question in a couple of crossing discords, but in the Force Center one, he gave me guitar pedal advice that I was searching for. Me and him had a nice little chat, and I forget who it was, but somebody after our back and forth just posted funnily, like, I can't wait to understand what you guys are talking about.
Look, I even write songs with Brian, and I understand half the time, 75% of the time when he and Sean Arnold, our bass player and producer extraordinaire, are even, I can't even get close to understanding it. So.
It's fun. But
Tiller is the best sizzler.
My question tonight is, because a little random, where I got the idea from another actually guitar player. It's called Getting Your Birth Year Guitar. Mine would be an 86.
Okay.
And the one I was for you, not necessarily a musical instrument, but what birth year item would you like to hunt for? Something hard to find or maybe expensive, but something from your birth year that you'd love to own.
Man, because I'll tell you one thing I do have. I made a passing reference to it on Force Center this week. I have a collection of bicentennial coins that my grandmother got because I was born in 76, so America turned 200. Wonderful parties everywhere. And so it's like all the coins that year. And it's in like this really horrible maroonish red kind of display case with the glass on it clamped down.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it was one of those things like when I moved to LA, I was like, you could hold on to this, Mom. But I now have it. It's in my storage shed. It somehow found its way back down here over the years. So I have that. But in terms of like birth year stuff, I'd love to, it's a cheat for me to go to some Star Wars stuff, even though that was 77. Maybe you can get some 1976 kind of promo material from it there. Baseball cards. I get a complete set of 1976 tops or something would be cool, but I don't even really need that. I just throw it on fire pits or do ASMR videos with it now. So I'm trying to think. Guitar is a good thing. It's some kind of item. Maybe I wouldn't call myself a collector, but when I switched to wearing Converse, I went a little Converse crazy. Are there 1976 Converse I can get a hold of?
I mean, as far as my dumbass knows, I thought it was something that started in the 50s, right? I mean,
you're absolutely right. So yeah, all right, maybe a 76. Yeah. Okay. There's some options. I'm looking at it now. But those are that's modern options. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Something like that. You can go to eBay for that. Yeah, you're right. What am I thinking? Did Converse start? Yeah, Converse was like Jerry West playing them. Yeah.
As soon as you question it, I'm like, are they that old, or are we just convinced they are?
They are, and Vans too. I remember when Vans kind of hit the scene, but I know that Vans have been around a lot.
66.
Well, okay, so they started in 66.
Yep.
When did I'm typing here, but I have to use Google. I admit I use an AI program called Perplexity to do my searching now, and it is amazing, and I highly recommend it. I know everyone hates AI, but it's great.
Depending on the AI, it's great.
Yeah, depending. March 16th, 1966, Vans Off the Wall in almost where I was born, Anaheim, California. Okay. Fascinating. Sorry. You sent me down a shoe whore. A shoe whore. I said shoe whore. I've become a shoe whore for Converse. A shoe whore as well. Love that.
Quick side, I feel your pain with the coin collection because my mother, I don't know where they are to this day, but my mother also did the coin thing with me with, you remember late 90s, early 2000s, the state coins, quarters?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep. We had a whole book that you put the quarters in every year when they came out. And it took like 8 years for those things to come out.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I remember. I'm not a coin collector either. So
I wasn't either. And neither was she, but it was.
That's the thing. Yeah. And my grandma, just sweetheart, she, for the rest of her life, was kind of bad at giving gifts. She was very good at spoiling us. Always had a $20 bill for you, that type of thing. I didn't have a lot. She was dirt poor, raising my mom, kind of a troubled life that my mom grew up in. So I think she overcompensated, but never good at getting gifts. But I'll take that. I'm born. I'm a goo goo gaga baby. She goes, here's some coins. But my thing is now I should look up the price, because if that is priced to go over a certain amount, my grandma's long gone. I'll sell those things. Those things.
What's the number we're looking for?
If I look, the way my finances are, $500, but I don't want to go through the hassle of that. If I can push toward 1,000, I'll sell. I ain't got nothing. Laser Bolt says Doritos were invented in 1967. I'd love an original bag. There you go. Maybe on Eating History Season 2 with Josh McCook if they ever do that. That's amazing.
Oh, my Lord.
Jared, thanks for the calls. Thanks for the thoughts. Thanks for the question. And hopefully one day we'll be, you and I will be at an event where we can have some cream cheese wontons with crab meat. It'll be good.
Next time you do stand up in Boston, I'll bring you some.
Absolutely. Be a lot of fun. We want to get back there. I saw that commercial they're running for New York Yankee fans in Boston. I was like, it was a fun town. I'd like to head back. So the driving was horrible, but we'll All right, Jared. Thank you, sir. Thanks for calling the Blathering. Hey, this is Blathering Live. You're hanging out with me, Ken Napzok. We have a lot of fun. A little bit later, we release this as an audio podcast. We also put my NFL picks up on the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff over there. Thank you to the 18 people who've liked this video so far. Currently it's going to be a runaway victory. 29 votes. Sliders, 41%. This is the best app at a wedding. Fancy Mushrooms, 21%. Something with Shrimp, 24%, holding steady, other, 14%, but you got to name it in chat. 6 o'clock, top of the hour, we got Steve with sports picks, but right now this guy's been waiting in his hotel room, and you don't want to keep Brits waiting too long in hotel rooms. I don't know, we even know what that means. Calling into the show is my buddy Matty Gunner, who, there's a stain on my shirt. Matty Gunner witnessed the barbecue sauce drop onto that.
Yeah, I did, and just go and ask Sid Vicious about Brits waiting hotel rooms.
Well, that's what I kind of was thinking, was Sid Vicious hotel rooms. Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you today, buddy. I know you're out for the wedding. Any appetizer that you prefer, and are you looking forward to a certain kind of appetizer at this wedding?
See, when you mentioned apps for weddings, I was thinking Tinder or Hinge, but if we're talking appetizers...
Well, look, I recommend that you have your Hinge and Tinder apps up at the wedding, and hell, put your Grindr app too. I'm not judging you. Put it all up and see what you can find. You're there for a couple days.
Yeah.
You're a Brit on the loose. That accent plays well. That accent plays well here. But yeah, anyways, other than that, what are you expecting?
Sorry to completely derail it. I don't know what to expect, really. The only weddings I've been to have been, not to dog on my friends, but we were talking about this earlier, like relatively cheap ones where it was just like odd finger foods here and there.
But yeah, that's quite frankly, all I want is odd finger foods. Like if we sat down at the reception
Yeah.
And dear God, I'm hope I'm sitting next to you, Maddie. If we sit down and they're like, hey, it's just finger foods at this table, get what you can. That's all I want. I'd be a hungry hippo at that table, just grabbing wontons and sliders and fingers and wings and whatever they got. I would love that.
I need to try sliders. There's so many things that like I hear you talk about, and I hear like friends of mine say, "Oh, we've been to this restaurant, we've been to this fast food place." I'm like, I've never heard of that before, but it sounds incredible. Like, what was one? I was trying to think of one. I was talking about Panda Express. Never had it, but he swears down it's the best thing that he's ever had.
I mean, look, is Panda Express the best like Chinese food you ever No, but is it what you want when you're not concerned to where you have to be the rest of the night and you need some low cost stuff your face options? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We had in the mall I was at, we had a Plum Tree Express. It was like an off-brand Panda Express. And it had a well-known reputation in Northridge. In fact, my old buddies Jack and Matt, a lot of people know Matt Mercer, they used to take writing meetings at the mall because they called it the worst, best tasting mall food court Chinese food there. So I'm down for some horrible food. So that's all right. That works for me.
That could be my question for the week, as I'm a long time listener, first time caller on the Blathering.
Yeah.
Everyone, if you haven't liked the video, subscribe to the channel.
Thank you. You're doing the Lord's work. Mm-hmm.
We used to do this thing on tour where we'd ask, like, just to bond with other bands and stuff, what we call the Golden Arches question.
Golden Arches question. Got it.
And it's as a touring comedian, this can apply to you. Let's say you're going down the highway, you're Mark Ellis, you're trying to make a show. You got 30 minutes to stop off. You're going down the highway, you see this magic sign. It has everything on it. Every bit of fast food that you can take. You got 30 minutes to stop before you make this show. Where are you going? What's the go-to?
This is a great game. We have those locations. America's built on those locations. There's a place called Kettleman City on the 5 freeway north. There's Kettleman and there's a King City too, but Kettleman City is literally just a town of fast food options. So I have faced this question, Maddie. I think if it's under the situation you've painted, it's a little bit of time, you're getting to a show. I think I'm going McDonald's, no soda. I get the bottle of water because when you have McDonald's, any kind of soda is an activator and not the good kind of activator. Get that double cheeseburger meal with the fries, large bottle of water. That thing will be finished before I pull out of the drive-thru.
Nice.
That's my choice.
What's
your choice?
McDonald's is the kind of the consensus choice that we would always run into. Like, it seemed to be everyone's favorite. I was more of a Burger King guy, but
Addie says Burger King. Addie says Burger King best fries. All right. Svetnik says Raising Cane's. They don't have a lot of that. We finally have one in Burbank. We could have gone. I think we have one over. They have a Cane's. I think it's Raising Cane's. It's like the heathen version of Chick-fil-A. It doesn't close on Sundays.
I'll love it then.
It prays to no God on Sundays. And it was it opened up in Burbank, not too far from where you and I ate today, Maddie, down the street, that Burbank police had to, they had overtime. The restaurant had to pay for overtime for the police to come and control traffic for like 2 months. I've only had the tenders. Mark Ellis got some tenders one time, and I chowed down on one of them. All right, so with Maddie here, I'm going to explain this. Jared says, explain the no soda, Ken. McDonald's, historically, is not one of what I would call the safest food in terms of your stomach. Trying to keep this clean and professional. So it's gotten better over the years. I've done some work on my stomach, meaning digestion pills or this or that, and some things to calm things down. Because when you're particularly a young man in America, where you think you're indestructible, a lot of privilege, young white straight suburb kid, you'd think you're indestructible, and you'd think fast food can do you no harm. And there comes a point in time where it absolutely does you harm. And that's why I avoid Taco Bell on the road. Absolutely not. But McDonald's is a great option because you know what you're getting. That's the genius of what Ray Kroc did. You know what you're getting. The quality is going to be generally the same, subpar, but it's going to taste specific. But there's just something in it that ain't right. And what I discovered over the years, I try to cut soda out of my life. Don't have soda at the house. I'll have soda replacements or soda options, but don't have straight up soda. But every once in a while I do. Today, Maddie Gunner witnessed me have 3 glasses of cherry Coke, right? That's what I had.
That.
We were in a diner, and I just felt, I was like, give me a cherry Coke, like I'm sock hopping in the 50s. But that's what it is, Jared. It's an activator. What I've discovered is when I switch to a bottle of water, maybe an iced tea, maybe a lemonade, I can eat the McDonald's and get on with my life, is all I'll say. All right?
You definitely need something to wash McDonald's down with. Like, my go-to is usually a Sprite Zero, even though most McDonald's I go to in the UK, the Sprite Zero just tastes like sparkling water. I think that's them just trying to charge you for Sprite and then pull a fast one on you. But you need to wash it down.
Laserbolt is talking about, have I tried the chicken Big Mac? I have not. I don't know if I want to try that, but I am seeing it. Sorry. Sports update, Maddie. The Yankees did lose. They lost 2-run home run, bottom of the 10th. David Fry.
Yankees are the New York team, right?
They're the New York. They're my favorite baseball team. David Fry, the injured pinch hitting catcher who can't even hit the field. He's so injured right now. Hit a home run to win. All right, hey, we're up 2-1. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I gotta get to some sports picks. Maddie, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at the wedding. We'll get some good photos. And how about you, me, Molly Damon dancing to Chapel Roan on the dance floor tomorrow night?
I've not heard a single Chapel Roan song, but I'm down to dance on the dance floor.
Okay. I'll delay sports for 10 seconds more. You are in a hotel room alone tonight. All right, go down and get yourself apparently a chicken Big Mac. Get back up to your hotel room. Open up Spotify, the greatest source of music ever, pays fairly, and just listen to Chapel Roan songs. You have a day to get ready, man. I want you to get that dance ready. HOTTOGO. Okay, we're gonna go hot to go on the dance floor, buddy.
Ken, I've seen you do stand up twice now. You saying that Spotify pays fairly is the funniest joke I've ever heard you tell.
Well, yeah, I think I have $14 in my bank account from like 2 years of music and comedy on Spotify. Okay, there you go. You have it. Thank you, Maddie. I'll see you tomorrow night or Saturday night at the wedding. And no, actually tomorrow night we're getting drunk at an undisclosed location. All right, there we go. See you, Maddie. Evan's here as well. Hey, party people. Addie has not heard Chapel Roan either. And all right, so Addie says, I've not listened to Chapel Roan. Osvetnik says, have you been able to avoid hearing the songs? I agree with that question. It's not about listening to the radio. It's just about, it's everywhere. It's on social media. It's on Instagram. It's on Twitter. It's on conversations. I hear it in cars. It's I heard it. You go to Dodger Stadium. They're playing it on the organ right now. Like, it's crazy. So, God bless you if I love Chapel Roan, but if you could avoid pop culture to the degree where you can live a peaceful life, I think that's a good thing. Speaking of good things, on the show right now, it's our 6 o'clock sports. We're not setting it at 6 o'clock every week because Steve's not he's not an employee, so I'm not going to expect him to be here every week. That would make me an a-hole. But you out there, you support us enough. This show can grow, this channel grow. Then I'll hire Steve and I'll demand that he's here every Thursday night at 6 p.m. East Pacific time. Steve, how you doing?
Thank you so much for having me, Ken. Appreciate it. Hello, everybody. So good to be back with NFL picks. You absolutely crushed it last week. We have some stuff to get to beforehand, but no, there's no denying it right off the bat. You killed it last week.
I appreciate it. I bad start. We'll talk about that, but ended up being okay. But yeah, a couple things to get to. Apps, weddings. Where you at?
Yeah. So for the wedding apps, I went sliders. I contributed to that vote. You need to stay clean at a wedding, and a slider is a good instrument for that. 2 pieces of bread. As long as you're like relatively not sloppy, you should be able to handle that for the most part.
Yeah,
stuff with forks can fall in the lap, stuff like that. The slider is mobile on the dance floor while you're walking around or getting around traffic. So yeah, no, definitely just safety. I'm all about keeping the clothes clean. You got to keep the look good.
Steve, this is a fantastic take because I think it's part of the factor, and it's like as someone who takes drinks to the dance floor and has not to this day spilt one in a dramatic fashion. And as someone as Maddie can attest to, I'm a bit of a messy eater, especially with the beard. Sliders, and look, some sliders can be overstuffed. That's doing too much with the slider. It is perfect. It is a small handheld sandwich or burger. Things with a poker, a skewer. Now you got a skewer. You got to find a place to dispose of it. All those kind of things. I can make all the hack jokes in the world, but you have found the reason I think sliders are the winner.
Just full disclosure, I am allergic to seafood, almost all seafood, so I am limited there, but still go for the slider.
Yeah, it's a big winner. It's a big winner. Trey. I'm Troy's I'm getting distracted by people who have not heard Chaperone. Where are we going to next, Steve?
So one more topic I want to do before we got to picks. So I'm a big fan of these like survival and camping type of shows. Kind of if you've ever seen Alone, or basically think of Survivor, but don't make it a competition. Just throw people in the woods and say, okay, live,
do it,
and we'll give you money at the end.
Okay. I used to be a big fan of Survivor back in the day, and that's a different ball game, like you're saying. So I haven't watched a lot of these. I'm familiar with some of them.
Okay, so the idea though is especially with the show Alone. So the whole premise is, okay, we take a group of people, we throw them in the woods. You're by yourself. Survive for as long as you can. Here's a satellite phone. When you give up, call us. If you're the last person, or to give up, or if you're the last person, we'll just tell you, and you'll win a whole bunch of money. But before they go, they basically give them like a list of, here, you get to take, I think it's like 10 things with you into the woods. I'm not going to tell you to ask. I'm not going to ask you to do 10, but I will ask you to do 5. So I want to know what are your 5 items that you're taking with you onto a stranded island, into the woods, out of civilization, so that you can survive for as long as you can.
Yeah. Okay. And Addie said it in chat too. This is like almost like Hunger Games without the murder, is what you're saying. I love this. I am taking a hatchet. I have about a foot long hatchet for defense, or to pretend that I know what to do around a tree to fashion it into something. Taking that. I'm definitely. Does like canteen with water count?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, got the canteen there. Where are we at with is clothing part of this list? Like
no. Clothing, no clothing. Okay. Yeah, no. You're just if you have layers, just put on like 3 coats, and we won't count.
Gotcha. We will count that. Okay, so I got that. I got a hatchet, a canteen. Definitely gonna bring a big package of dude wipes. Does that count?
That would count.
Okay, I can't. I mean, we're talking most of my backpack will be that. That's why I don't camp. So that's that. And then you know what? I wouldn't really know how to use it, but I got the hatchet. But I definitely want like a rappelling rope, right? Like I definitely feel as though I don't want to gnaw off my arm. So if I can be attached to something and pull myself up, unless I'm stuck, then I gotta gnaw off my arm. But I'm gonna go with some sort of rope.
Okay, rope. I was gonna say rope is a good one in general. Rappelling rope. I was gonna say why are we rappelling? Don't put yourself in danger. You just need to survive.
That's true. That's true. All right. Look, I rappelled once in Topeka Canyon, and I feel cool about it. It was 20 years ago. All right, and then my final item. God, I'm literally looking across at sunscreen. I think you'd want that, but I don't know if I don't know if that's not too sexy. That's not too exciting. I was going to say compass, but I got to be honest, it wouldn't do me any good. I know north, south, east, west, but I wouldn't know what to do with that if I'm in the forest. Head north. I don't know. Okay. You know what? I think I might go sunscreen, because I can't imagine trying to survive in the elements, and if you're not protected from one of the most dangerous elements out there, the sun, followed closely by the moon. I don't want to get a moon burn either. That's what I'm going with, sunscreen.
So before you lock this in, no lighter, no source of fire or heat or way to cook food. Do you want to swap anything out real quick before we?
Okay, yeah. Look, yeah. Give me a lighter. Give me a Bic lighter. I'll light myself a campfire. I'll switch it out for the sunscreen.
Okay, good call. I think that's
okay.
I think that's probably the good call. I mean, you can just stay under the in the shade.
Yeah, okay.
That's
fair. But can you hatchet fish? Can you hatchet fish to death? That's
you can use the hatchet to make yourself a wooden spear, stand in the river for a really, really long time until the fish don't notice you. And then, I mean, you have nothing else to do. You'll figure it out.
Right. I'll get there. Okay. I failed that test, but I that's my answer. Definitely the dew wipes. Gotta have.
You'd make it a few days.
I'd last a couple days. And then I'd give up. I wouldn't win the money. There you go. Thanks,
More
Steve.
pick games?
Yeah. Let's do some NFL picks. Every week, Steve calls in. He gives me about 5 games. And I'm back into football in a big way. It's been a lot of fun. It's been up and down. But last week, Steve, big week.
This has been awesome. Last week was a huge, huge week. So going into the week, it was a little rough. You were 9-11 going into last week. We billed it as the week of redemption part 2. And you absolutely delivered. You were 4-1 for week 6, bringing you to 13-12 on the season. We are officially making money.
We're over 500 on this. 13-12. Love it. Love it. I'll tell you what, I was worried. I had that. We did the show on Wednesday last week, so we had the Thursday game to pick from. Pick wrong, right? I picked big wrong, big time wrong.
That was the only loss of the week, so we got to stop doing that whole Thursday thing. Luckily, the game's already started, so we're not going to go there. Okay. But yeah, you were perfect on the weekend, and the Dolphins didn't play. I offered you a freebie for whatever reason. You said no. Give me the competition, and
love it.
The Bills delivered. So 4-1.
4-1. What do we got this week? What do we got?
Here we go. This week, we got 5 games. Your Dolphins are back, so we will pick them last. Your first game for week 7 is Houston at Green Bay. Green Bay is a 2.5-point favorite.
And I took Green Bay last week. Big win there. Houston, of course, CJ Stroud, right? Healthy, ready to go. But I got to tell you what, some Southern boys getting up north. I don't even think it's going to be snowing. I'm not even worried about that. It's going to be a different situation. I really like Green Bay this year. I stuck with it last week. I'm going with Green Bay this week.
Green Bay. Alrighty, next game is the New York Jets. We know how much you love Aaron Rodgers and the Jets at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are a 1.5-point dog at home.
Okay. One of my favorite moments in the Monday night game was they were talking about Aaron Rodgers, who's, by the way, great player, took a hit on his ankles. And they told this whole story about Aaron Rodgers doesn't wrap his ankles. He's like the only player in the NFL that doesn't wrap his ankles. And he told the story of, well, he was backing up the quarterback in Green Bay, the old number 4 guy. And he was like, wasn't going to play, so I just never wrapped my ankles because it was uncomfortable standing on the sidelines and wrapped ankles. So I never did, and now I don't. And now he feels that because of that, he has stronger ankles. Never have I heard more proof of a guy who doesn't believe in vaccines, who believes by not wrapping his ankles, he has stronger, like he's actually formed stronger ankles. He lost. It was great, and he's going to lose again this week. That team's a mess. I don't care whoever they traded for, Devontae Adams, it doesn't matter. Pittsburgh's on a little bit of a, we got to get ourselves right with the Lord now. I'm taking the Steelers.
All right, taking the Steelers, 1.5-point dog at home. Steelers are a great team to pick as a home dog, so that should be a good game. Game number 3. Detroit at Minnesota. Minnesota is a 1.5-point favorite.
This is a big one. What do we got? We got an undefeated team versus a 1-loss team? Where are the Lions at?
I think the Lions have 1 loss. I believe that is right. But yes, Minnesota is one of the final undefeated teams with Kansas City.
Are. And our Detroit Lions. It's in Minnesota?
It is in Minnesota. Minnesota is a 1.5-point favorite.
Ooh, okay. And we've got Lions are 4-1, says our 2 Lions fans in the audience. Tough game. Tell you what, if I'm wrong with this, I will eat a Detroit pizza to make up for it, but I'm going Vikings at home.
Wow. Okay. Taking the Vikings.
Yep.
All right, let's hope Lauren's not too mad. All right.
It's this is one of those games. The Lions, they're real. But if they win, they're for real. You know what I mean? And I still think they'll be a contender afterwards. But I don't know. There's something about the Magic. It's going to dip a little bit. It's going to dip and rise again. So that's why I go Vikings. All right.
All right, moving on. Game number 4, Kansas City at San Francisco. San Francisco is a 1.5 point favorite. A little Super Bowl rematch action.
Super Bowl rematch. Look, man, I'd love to go against Kansas City at some point. I really would. I just think it's tough. They are as good as you want them to be. They're as good as they believe they are. Andy Reid is Andy Reid. Mahomes, like him or not, he's a great player. I don't need to worry about his voting record. I just need to see him on the field in this game. And Brock Purdy did take my Miami Dolphins to the Super Bowl in Madden 24 one season. Long story. He was an injury replacement because I keep injuries on in my franchise mode. I'm going Kansas City.
All right, taking Kansas City. Okay, on the road. I mean, it's tough to pick against Patrick Mahomes, period. So,
yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Last game, as always, your Miami Dolphins are at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are a 3-point favorite.
Look, it's not just a bit. It's a hope and belief. I think with a bye week, Tariq went to Paris, had some good times, probably ate a croissant, which actually didn't originate in Paris. Probably ate some good pizza, didn't have stomach issues because the cheese is just so fresh over there. I think he's coming back. I think Snoop Huntley is calmer now. I think McDaniel knows a little bit more what to do with him as a player. I think a running game is actually doing pretty good. Mostert back. We had some good results last time out with that. And I'm not sure whether we got Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco. We're not sure. Is it Flacco magic? Is it the Miami Dolphins see an opening? They saw the Bills kind of move ahead, but they saw the Jets drop back. They know they're scrambling. This is do or die. We're just trying to get to Tua. Dolphins are going to win. It's an upset on the road.
Big surprise taking the Dolphins. All righty. Well, here we go for Week 7. Quick recap. Taking Green Bay at home against Houston. Taking the Steelers at home against the Jets. Minnesota at home against Detroit. Taking Kansas City on the road against San Francisco. And taking Miami on the road at Indianapolis. Those are the picks for Week 7. Ken, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate you, buddy. Like I said, you're never legally obligated to be here, but I appreciate when you are.
Love being here. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thanks, Steve. Steve, I'm standing by the picks, man. Standing by the picks. Robert Edwards says, with you in 3 of 5. Laura Robo is just making faces at me. She is mad. And Addie says she's mad. Look, it's gonna be tough. I think the Lions are gonna be there in the end. I think they're a Super Bowl contender. Love watching them. Love watching what Dan Cable's done. Minnesota's just got a little bit of that. But here's the thing. I don't think Minnesota will be in the Super Bowl. That's the thing about the Vikings. The modern day Vikings, my entire adult life watching football. Great team, early season. You're like, the Vikings are unstoppable. They have Herschel Walker. Oh, my God. And not in the Super Bowl. Lions might get the Super Bowl. There you go. All right. We're almost done here tonight. This has been a lot of fun. I got to pack because I got to go to a wedding tomorrow. Anytime the Ken and Alden will be tomorrow, and then I'm going to leave after that. Got one more call. We got Evan lined up here, but before we go, I do want to remind some folks of some of the things I got going on. If you sign up from a Patreon page at patreon.com/KenDabs, you get my full set from Flappers in June. When was that? I can't remember. We had a great show, fun time, 40-minute set for me. It's on there. It's exclusive to the channel, as is my Young Guns movie commentary. Check out our friend Adam Knight's book, Cowboy Ending. Get it wherever you can get books, but check out Amazon for an easy click link to buy, that kind of thing. There, our buddy Matty Gunner. He is a talented, fiery young rock star. Mourner's new song, Truth, is out wherever you get your music. And don't forget to check out The Art of DuckTales if you're a DuckTales fan from our buddy Ken Plume. Link up there. You type that in. It's a bit.ly link. But you can search wherever you get the books as well. Just go to Ken's website there. But it is the deluxe edition, The Art of DuckTales, comprehensive look at one of America's most beloved animated programs. And Ken is really great at what he does, so check out his stuff there. All right, we're almost out of here. But Evan is back. That is a good thing. Major problems is sometimes what we call them. But Evan, how are you? Oh, sorry. I didn't press the right button, Evan. That's on me, not you. How are you?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. I'm good, Ken. How you doing tonight?
We're alive and well, my friend. What's first before I ask what's on your mind, what is your appetizer answer? I'll check the poll here. It is we've had a change in the poll. 38 votes. What's your favorite wedding app for anyone swinging through here? Where do you go, Evan?
I went Slider. I saw Slider. I go sandwich, big or small.
Yep, big. That's a good philosophy in life. That's me too. Sandwich, big or small, I'm there. Currently, sliders 45%, fancy mushrooms 24%, jumped up there. Something with shrimp fell to 18%. Other, but you got to name it in chat, is 13%. Woo! That fancy mushrooms jumping up, shocking,
impressive.
What's on your mind, buddy?
Well, I heard that you're going to a wedding and we have the wedding poll. I said I'm a little down. I have 2 weddings in my social circles tomorrow, and I wasn't invited to either of them. I think I'm the 7th degree of Kevin Bacon for both of these social circles.
So this is I've been there. Last year. It wasn't weddings, but there was a couple Christmas parties, holiday parties I didn't get invited to, and I was okay with it. Number one, because I don't like leaving my house as much anymore. 2, I was like, oh, that's a statement. They've made a statement that I didn't get the invite. We're there now. So I'm not saying that's the case with you. What do you feel's gone wrong here?
I want to think it was an oversight. Like, Ken, my twin brother and my mom are going to one of these weddings.
Whoa, is it like a family? What? How does that
It's not
happen?
even a family. It's a
social circle wedding.
Social circle wedding, yeah. I think I'm just gonna assume it's an oversight, but I'm kind of flabbergasted. But
At what point, when you discovered you weren't going, at what point were you like, do I ask about it? And you knew mother and twin brother were going. At what point were you like, do I ask about it or I just sit on this?
Oh, I had other people in both of these social circles say, so, what are you and my better half, what are you guys wearing to the wedding? What are you doing for the wedding? And we're like, didn't get one in the mail.
Wow.
Didn't get the invite.
I mean, I'm trying to put myself in that spot. And there's been a couple weddings recently in my social circle that I didn't get the invite, and I understood. It would have made sense if I did get the invite. I'm friendly enough, but weddings, you're counting tables, you're counting heads and costs. I'm not on that list. I'm not in that. I get that. But I don't know. I don't know if there was one that I felt I should be at. I don't know. I think I'd cower and not say a thing, Evan.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have the stiff upper lip, I think, and carry on.
Carry on, my wayward son. But that's one of the weddings. What's the case with the other one?
The other one, I think it's similar. I think maybe just an oversight. Both families involved in the wedding are very large. I know it's a big wedding. My best friend, the godfather of my son, and his better half, who I work for their families. It's that family's wedding. So,
you're thinking you're a fall through the cracks guy, or there's too many.
I think I might be. I think I'm the 7th degree of Kevin Bacon.
Look, I think. Look, I enjoy weddings. I enjoy weddings. They can sometimes be a hassle, especially if it's a travel wedding. But once you're there, the environment's fun. The apps are good. You can't really go wrong. I think here's the thing about this poll. I take all those things. So I don't want to say, hey, it's actually a win for you. You get to stay home. They're fun. Yeah. They're fun. Do you think going forward, you're going to make your case earlier, or just see what you've done wrong in the situation, or or is oversight the answer, and you're just going to leave it at that?
You know what? Oh, just on quick reflection, I am going to just chalk off the. We got the baby at home. Maybe they were saying, maybe they wouldn't want to come anyway.
Okay.
So maybe that. But now I'm debating do I send I'm friendly with all 4 of the people getting married tomorrow. Like, do I send a card? Do I?
Well, okay. This is the great final turn of this quandary. My thought is, and when you say card, do you mean gift with that, or just card
maybe just best wishes, good luck.
Okay, maybe get a gift card to Checkers rallies tonight. Okay. If I'm not attending your wedding, I'm not getting you anything. And there's been times where if I've attended the wedding and I felt it was a little bit of an effort to get there, or that I was almost surprised I was there. There's been a couple weddings where I'm like, what am I doing here? I don't get you a gift. I'm sorry. The gift is me. The gift is me dancing a chaperone on your dance floor. I'm sorry. And I have a year. I have a year to get you a gift. But it's a controversial take. Not everyone agrees with me. But I like the donations. Like, hey, we're starting our life together. You don't need to get us a frying pan or a coffee maker. How about some money to get a house or go to New Zealand? And I'll do that. I like that. But
I'm with you all the way on that, Ken.
You
okay, are the gift. You are the gift.
I am the gift. And Kingsport Cal agrees with me, which makes me feel less confident about my choice there. Makes me feel like Cal and I might be on the wrong side of things. I don't know. But to your problem, Evan, I think you're home. You get to enjoy the night. Maybe it was the young kid thing. Maybe they're like, we're doing you a favor. Send a card, because that could almost be sending a thank you card is a good way to figure out the truth of the situation without any kind of tension.
Now, Ken, just one last thing before I go.
Okay.
Do I go Wedding Crashers? What if they don't even realize that I wasn't invited? I just show up there.
I like this a lot. Choose the one that without your mom and brother there.
Yeah.
Go the other one. Just show up, but don't show up to the ceremony.
Right.
Who gives a damn about the ceremony? In and out. You should have done that at a courthouse anyways. Just show up to the reception. I think this is a great idea. You don't need a table to sit at. Nah. You don't need just mill. Be a miller.
Just miller.
Just mill. Sit down. Go to the restroom.
The hot to get hot to go on the dance floor.
There you go. So you can just be that guy, and then you'll find out, because then they'll be like, "So glad you came," and you'll be like, "You didn't invite me, suckers, but I'm here anyway, and I'm the life of the party." I think that's okay. I think that's the way to do it.
All right, Ken. I'll keep you posted next time we call in.
Call in next week. I want the update, or after the weddings. Get to it. All right.
Thanks, Ken. Have a good night.
You too. Evan calling in. Appreciate that. You guys are the best. Good stuff out there. Kingsport Cal, channel member, used his channel membership to say, shrimp is being robbed. How dare you people? I don't look, shrimp, some people some people can't have it, as Steve said. I get that. Some people don't want to. I get that. More shrimp for me. All right. Final run on the poll. Then I'm going to end the poll. 39 votes. 46%. Sliders was the win. It was never in doubt. Fancy mushrooms, 23%. Something with shrimp, 18%. Other, 13%. But please try those cream cheese wontons. The poll for tonight's episode has ended. You all are the best. We are out of here this week. Really, always love hanging out with all of you. Really do. Look forward to it. Thank you for making the Blathering Live something worthwhile. And in fact, thank you for the likes. As of right now, more likes than people watching right now as we grow this channel. You got to dig in deep, grow it. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Addie. Thank you, Kingsport Cal, who still really wants beef jerky at a wedding. Haskell, sorry about our Yankees. We're gonna do it again next week and more. Hopefully, get some 20 minutes of coffee back going too for channel members live. A lot of fun to be had. See you soon. Bye.